Hello everyone! Today in this video, we are going to explain briefly about Chapter 8 Limits. Okay, so for 8.1 limits, we are going to look for 8 methods to solve the limits question. Okay, so this is the definition that I already simplified. If the function f(x) approaches a single number L as x approaches a from either side, then the limit of f(x) as x approaches a is L and is written as, so it will be written as this one. Okay? Okay, for the first method is simple direct substitution. Only substitute the a to the x. Okay, and then when the limits, when we substitute the limits and it will become 0 over 0, it will become undefined. So there are two steps to solve this problem, which is method 2, factorization method, that involving polynomial, and we use long or synthetic division for this factorization method. For method 3 is multiplication of conjugates. It's involving surd. So for one-sided limits, lim x approaches a fx does not exist when x a approaches a to the left unequal is not equal to x approaches to a to the right. Okay, so to solve the one-sided limit content modulus, we will use method 4, which is this one. And then for test for existence of a limit, we will use method 5. So limit exists if and only if both one-sided limit exists and equal. So if one-sided limit is equals, for the one-sided limits at left and right is equal, then the limit is exists. So it is the opposite of one-sided limit. So for method 6 is infinite limits. We use it to find the vertical asymptote. The problem is the value over 0. So to solve this problem is by substitute the nearest value from right or left of x equals to a. Next, the method 6, limits at infinity. It is used to find horizontal asymptote. So limit x approaches positive infinity, 1 over x to the power of n equals to 0. And it is also the same for limit x approaches to negative infinity for n is greater than 0. And the last method is method 6, limits at infinity, but for rational function. So if the limits, after we substitute, it will become infinity over infinity, it will become undefined. So the solution is 2. So the first solution is each term by x to the highest, each term is divided by x to the highest power of the denominator. And the second solution is to factorize the highest degree. So that's all that you need to know for 8.1 limits.
The next subtopic, which is asymptotes. There is two types of asymptote, which is vertical asymptote and horizontal asymptote. Vertical asymptote is when line x on x-axis is equal to a, and horizontal asymptote is when line y in y-axis is equal to b. This is the formula for horizontal asymptote, which is limit x approaching infinity from right is equal to b, or limit x approaching infinity from left is equal to b. And this is the formula for vertical asymptote. And limit x approaching a from right is equal to positive or negative infinity, or limit x approaching a from left is equal to positive or negative infinity. The tips to find the vertical asymptote is by finding the value of x that cause the denominator to be 0.
Point 3. Continuity. What is continuity? Okay, the continuity is a function of y is equal to fx that can be graphed throughout its domain with one continuous motion of the pen. A function of y is equal to fx is continuous at x equal to c if fc is defined. Second, limit of fx as x approaches c exists. Third, limit of fx as x approaches c is fc. So here is the example of continuous and discontinuous